So if our goal is adaptive expertise, one useful starting point is to look at the knowledge structures that experts possess in comparison to the ones that novices, our students, have. There's actually a lot of research about that, and it comes down to this idea. The idea that if we could open our people, anybody actually, people's brains and look inside, we would find webs of interconnected knowledge. That's how the brain works. For experts, those webs, those networks would be rich and meaningful. Rich in the sense that there will be a lot of nodes in this web, just because experts know a lot. Meaningful refers to the fact that the nodes will be interconnected very well. Not everything will be connected because the brain does not have the mental energies to connect everything that it knows to every other thing that it knows. And so there will be a lot of connections compared to novices, but because it cannot be everything that is connected, the connections that are indeed there will be very meaningful. Those are connections that help experts practice their discipline. If we opened up our students' brains, we would also find networks, because that is how the brain proceeds, by connecting new knowledge to the knowledge that is already there. But because they're novices, their webs will be sparse. There wouldn't be enough nodes, or there wouldn't be as many nodes as the experts. And the connections that would be there would be less in the number of connections, and they wouldn't be necessarily the best connections. They wouldn't be meaningful. They might be rather superficial, left to their own devices. Now, novices actually can develop the same kinds of knowledge structures that experts have, but they need to be supported in that development. So we can think about how to do that. When we think about the nature of those connections in the brain, these are some examples. So starting from A, you might think that a student might have knowledge that is connected in that way. Lots of elements here and there, but only few of them are connected, and they are isolated from other bits of knowledge that might be also relevant to that same idea. Some other students might have knowledge that is all connected, but it might be connected in a sequential way, in a step-by-step. And so if they get stuck in a step, for instance, in a problem-solving type situation, then they don't know what to do because they only have that one path from the beginning to the end. More complex knowledge structures would involve hierarchies, when things are organized as categories and subcategories of the same kind, of similar kind, related kinds, along the branches of a tree. But that is not actually how all knowledge is organized. Some knowledge is not hierarchical, but it still needs to be well connected and useful. And that would be an example of that in D.